I would like to echo some of the sentiments shared by some of my colleagues here, in that when we speak about, we've got very fancy words for privatization, and at the end of the day, it's all privatization. And again, we will not support that, because what you see happening here is, I've said this in the Portfolio Committee of Transport as well, that the standard technique for privatization is to defund, make sure that things don't work, and then people get angry and you hand it over to private capital. And that's exactly what's happening with our entities. And I think the department needs to know that we understand this, that that's a standard, that's how you privatize. And from where we stand, we do not want to privatize strategic national assets. So we need to know, and we need to have people's heads roll, people who have been doing this deliberately. Unfortunately, some of them are no longer with us, people who knew exactly what they were doing, and I think everyone here knows who I'm talking about. But when this is treasonous. When you take state entities and you make sure that they don't work, and especially with entities like Transnet, you cannot have a Transnet that's not working, because Transnet is the backbone of the country. It's the backbone of our transport infrastructure. It's the backbone of everything. Everything that comes into the country has to go through our ports, which is Transnet. Everything that leaves the country that would actually increase into our GDP has to go through our railroads and transport. So the minute we start to defund, for instance, Prasa, we've got derailments all over the country, because Prasa has been deliberately sabotaged. And we know that it's deliberately sabotaged. If you ask that who has been managing the downfall of these entities and where are they now, they're still enjoying fat, cushy jobs wherever they sit. You've got people at Transnet who are sitting here, Minister, that are, and let me make an example for you. You've got, and I'll name names here. You've got a company called Liquid and Data Centrics at Transnet. Liquid and Data Centrics run parallel and they do the same thing. The one of them, the contract ended 4 years ago, but they're still getting paid today. You've got managers there at Transnet telling you that no, we are managing the handover from Liquid, I think, to Data Centrics, and I stand to be corrected on who's handing over to who here. But 4 years later, they're still telling you that no, they're handing over. And this is the cost of millions. And I believe that this year alone, they've been paid over 74 million, almost 100 million rand that they've been paid to date. And Chairperson, both of these companies are running concurrently at Transnet. And then people are going to tell you that no, we've got the most competent people working for Transnet. They're incompetent. They're incompetent. Because now, I think, Chair, and through you, we need to get to a position or get to a point where we actually ask for the qualifications of these people who work at Transnet. Because I believe that those people are incompetent. We have not even brought in our B team. This is like the C team or the D team that's running Transnet. And now I think it's irresponsible for us as a portfolio committee, especially Scopa, and this is for Scopa and Transport, to not vet the people who are running these entities, to make sure that we've got the best people running these entities. We've got declines in volumes at Prasa, extreme declines, yet you hear the department saying we must privatize. What do they call this thing that they want to do at Transnet? It's, what is it again? What is it?
Describe it, maybe.
It's vertical
integration.
Vertical integration. That's not going to work. They know that's not going to work. They know it's not going to work, because now you're saying vertical integration, but then the other day we sat with the CEO of Transnet, and he said, we do not earn money if we do not move volumes. If they do not move volumes, but they want to take those volumes and give them to private sector, what do they mean? You are not moving volumes, but you want to take the same entity and give it over to, you want to take the same work and give it over to private capital. How are you planning on making this entity viable? How are you planning on making this entity survive? The The current loss position of Transnet of 7 billion rand, it's not acceptable. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 2017, 2018, that entity made a profit of 5 billion rand. Profit, 5 billion rand. 5, 6 years later, that same entity, the very same entity, is working on a 7, it's actually, it's not even 7, it's actually more. More than 7 billion rand loss. How is that even possible? I don't get it. I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
That's why you need to privatize.
No, members,
When you privatize,
let's not interrupt.
I can answer.
Can we please let
take you on that one?
Chair, on the
Members,
point of order, Chair.
Let me take you on that
members,
one.
On the point of order,
sorry,
Chair.
Take you on that one because I think we must agree that we stand
On the point of order, Chair.
Honorable Khubeka, I want to deal with Honorable Atkinson from the chair,
Yes, Chair.
please. So, members, can we please? Can we please? Or was it Honorable Esak? Okay, Honorable Esak. So can we please? This is question time. Can we please not interrupt members when they are asking questions? We're not gonna go through this process in the time that we need to, and secondly, we're going to interfere with the decorum of the meeting. So please, can we let members ask their questions?
Just on the point of order, Chair. The bickering has been happening here. They are very irritated when members are speaking against privatization. And he's laughing and I'm on the floor. This is unacceptable. And we've been ignoring this because there's a decorum that we keep in this house. Now, for him to just blatantly disrupt another member like that when his turn is coming is uncalled for. And you must rein on that, Chair, because we equally can do that. So when we raise issues that they are uncomfortable on, they must stomach it because we are going to speak against this issue. So this nonsense must not happen again.
Honorable Blosse, I've now dealt with the matter as you had. Members, can we please give each other time to ask the questions and let the minister and her team respond? Thank you. Please proceed.
Yeah, yes, thank you, Chair. And on to answer Honorable Atkinson, that same thing I'm talking about now of vertical separation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, both of you, the same issue of vertical separation, it will not work. The numbers of these entities do not support that. If you want to hand it over to private capital, I understand from your point of view, from your political parties, that privatization is the way to go. But from where we stand, privatization is not the way to go. And then just lastly, Chair, the leadership in some of these entities, especially ESCOM, it's not competent, Chair. Can we get the minister to possibly
sorry, just to be certain, you mentioned ESCOM, and ESCOM is under a different minister.
No, sorry, Transnet.
Okay.
Excuse me there. Transnet. The leadership at Transnet, it's not capable, Chair. Maybe, is it possible for us to ask the minister, I'm not sure when, maybe through written submission, if she can get us the CVs of these people who are running that entity, because I strongly believe that we've got a properly incapable team running specifically Transnet. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Now